Welcome everybody to the Horror and Gore Horror Movie Podcast. It's your host Dakota. I'm always joined by my best friend and co-host Scoobs. What's up, Goobs? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. So, if you guys are wondering, if you guys are, of course, are returning listeners to the podcast and wondering where Lindsay is at, she has some personal stuff she had to do this week, so she's not going to be on the episode this week. She will be back, unfortunately, next week, though. So
Yeah,
be prepared for her return next week because she's going to come back with some vengeance, probably.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Mommy's not here, so the boys will play.
that just took me so off guard right there. I was not expecting that.
I told you.
You did tell me. So let's get right into it, Goops. What have you watched this week?
So it's been a busy week, so I only got a couple of watches in. But the first one I got was Nightfall, a paranormal investigation. And that was from the Unnamed Footage Festival, one of the last ones that I was able to get in. And that is, it follows two young paranormal investigators, and they go to a this lady's house. They obviously notice a presence, and it's kind of like a hybrid found footage. It's like, I would only say about 30% found footage. So if you're not a big found footage fan, this is definitely one to keep your eye on, just because it has mostly the traditional filming side of it, and then just a little bit of found footage here and there and at the end. And it gets pretty fucking scary toward the end. So I don't know when that's coming out, but definitely keep an eye out for that one. And then the next one, I definitely don't recommend anybody go watch it, but it was a short on YouTube called Reverse the Punishment. And that one was so damn bleak and raw, and just the ending. It's only 10 minutes, and I've never felt so uncomfortable in 10 minutes in my life. So if you ever want to ruin your mental health, Reverse the Punishment on YouTube. It's the first video that pops up, but proceed with caution. Trigger warnings everywhere. I recommend don't watching it. But those are my two.
Speaking of reverse, what was it? Reversing the punishment.
Yeah, Reverse the Punishment.
Um, what? Okay, so of course, where I repost like our videos, like it pops up into my mom's timeline. I don't know if it was Chuck or Colby's video. You know the part. I don't know if this actually happens in the short film. If it looks like the woman's throwing the baby. My mom just like she's like, Dakota, I got you. So I'm like, what, mom? She's like, did that woman just throw a baby in that video? I'm like, I think so. She's like, well, fuck.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, that is not the worst thing to happen visually in that short film.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'm probably gonna stay away from that. Colby, Chuck
Yeah.
has said not to watch it. Goobs has said not to watch it. That's three people. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Yeah.
Um, but for my watches this week, of course, last week, guys, I watched one movie. This year, I did not this year. This week, I did a lot better. I watched 10 movies this week.
Let's go.
So let's start off with we were talking about this last week, Minecraft. So the next time I went to go see a Minecraft movie. First of all, did not get thrown popcorn thrown at me or drink. Thank goodness, no clapping, no cheering. The quietest theater experience I ever had for a Minecraft movie. Really enjoyed it. Gave it 4.5. I don't know why everybody's hating the movie on 4. It's a fun time. Jack Black's funny in it. I was laughing the first 5 minutes. Like I couldn't stop laughing. Every joke was hitting. Jason Momoa was good, and then Jack Black. Some people I think they could utilize a little bit more. Probably gonna get a sequel because it's made like over $500 million right now. So
Yeah.
Then after that, I watched another Jason Momoa movie. Then I thought, and this Jason Momoa movie is directed by one of my favorite horror directors of all time, and this is James Wan. I didn't see it when it came out of theaters, and this is Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom. The only good, okay, there's a lot of good in this movie. There's a lot of bad because it's the old DC. Um, Yahya Abdul-Mateen the second, damn good
Yeah.
in that movie. Jokes were a little bit not here and there, but decent. I kind of wish I did see it in theaters because the visuals of the Atlantis and of the underwater area are absolutely phenomenal. James Wan does a great job of that. But then next, I finally watched the movie that has been on the watch list and been recommended to me many of times, and this is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Um, I'm just going to say my thoughts probably later on that because, of course, as you guys probably know, of our main topic, which I probably will get that later on if me or you mention this movie. Then next movie, two movies I watched a duology of a trilogy, and this is Ginger Snaps and Ginger Snaps 2 Unleashed. Um, After that, me and mom went to the theater on Friday. And by the way, I did see Minecraft in IMAX. The IMAX theater I have, phenomenal. Then we saw the amateur in IMAX. What? Okay, this kind of pisses me off. So you know how mostly like in IMAX, like have you been to IMAX theater, Goops?
A long time ago.
So for certain movies, they have the because I was watching a Ryan Coogler video talking about Sinners. So some movies they have the aspect ratio of like it looks like your standard, and for
Hmm.
some big action scenes, it like expands. Like for some theaters, for Sinners, that's what Ryan Coogler said. Like it's going to stay standard, but like the attends to horror and the music's elements for
Yeah.
that movie, it's going to be expand. So I'm thinking it's going to expand for a lot of these things. Never expands the whole entire time. I'm watching this movie in the IMAX theater, standard version.
Mm.
Good sound quality though. Really good movie. But besides that, the last four movies I watched this week, I bust out four movies in these past 2 days. So I watched the remake of Hills Have Eyes. Really, I'm just going to say really good, really brutal. Uh,
Banger.
then I watched The Hills Have Eyes 2. I got some thoughts about that one. Um,
Yeah.
which I could probably leave on later on. Then I watched I actually rewatched Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2. But with that being said, before we get into our main topic, you guys know what time it is. It's movie news time. So we have not a lot of topics this week because it seemed like this week not a lot of movie news has happened.
Yeah.
But for our first topic, which really shocked me when I woke up this morning, I saw this. Rowan Campbell, Mr. Corey Cunningham this himself, will star as Billy in the Silent Night Deadly Night remake that's coming from Cineverse. So, Goobs, have you seen the original Silent Night Deadly Night?
Yeah. I've seen
So
the
you got
original.
more knowledge on this than me that because I haven't seen the original. So what is your thoughts about Rowan Campbell playing as Billy in this remake?
So the OG Silent Night Deadly Night is probably the only decent one in the franchise. They're not very good as a whole, but every Christmas you gotta throw it on. Um, Billy himself is a freaking nut job. So if they, I feel like with how movies are made now, they're probably going to make it better because, like I said, the original isn't as good. And I've only watched, I think, one of his movies, and that was The Monkey. So I don't know much about him as an actor, but
Did you
I'm
watch
excited
Halloween
to see
Ends?
what they do. Huh?
Have you seen Halloween Ends? Where
Oh, I
Michael's in
did.
the cave. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Corey.
Okay. I I've seen. I only saw Halloween Ends once.
I've seen it twice, but you got different opinions on that movie. I know we do.
Yeah, but I'm good. I'm always down. I'm one of the few people, I think, or I'm in the people in the minority that I'm all for remakes of horror, of classic horror movies. You know, more fresh ideas. I'm still gonna watch it for sure.
For me, okay, for this, I'm excited for this because I know Billy is a little bit psychotic in the original
Yes.
Silent Day Night, as I've heard. And Rowan Campbell did play a little bit psychotic character in Corey Cunningham in Halloween Ends. So I think
Yeah.
it's there. I think there's a comedy in the first. I know there's comedy in the second one because you get
Yeah.
Garbage Day in the second one. But I
Garbage
don't know
Day.
if there's comedy in the first one. If there is, he did some pretty good comedy in The Monkey there. But I'm all on board with just this movie period because you got Cineverse attached to this.
Yeah.
And Cineverse has made Terrifier 2, 3, and even they're doing the remake of Toxic Avenger. And plus, I think some people from Terrifier 3 is actually attached to this. So I'm all on board for this.
Yeah.
But for our next piece of news, which I think, yeah, it's this one. Weapons, the new Zach Krieger movie. And Barbarian, his first feature film. I think his first feature film at the time.
Yeah.
Could be in the same universe. Which I forgot because I can't find it was like the article or something anymore. But they're saying like, oh, I forgot what it was, but somehow this and that could be connected in the same universe. My only thing is, if these two are connected in the same universe, he's also doing his Resident Evil movie next year.
Yeah.
Could that movie be connected in the same universe with some barbarian weapons? Just think somewhere you got who's the brother and sister in that? I know it's Claire and or Claire and is it Claire? Who's the brother and sister Resident Evil?
Oh shoot. Yeah, it's Claire. Yeah, Claire, and I'm skipping on the.
Is that Alex? No, I'm thinking of Claire and Alex from fucking Final Destination. Fuck, I forgot his name.
I know.
But it's so weird if that's the whole universe. You got them over here fighting zombies, and here's just Mama under the damn house trying
Yeah.
to kill people or make them stuck on Harry bottles. Which that's how really we're just coming out of my mouth right
Yeah.
there. Harry bottles, okay. Um,
Yeah.
how do you feel that this might be in the same universe?
See, I don't know a lot about weapons as far as like any synopsis or anything like that. I haven't looked too far into it. But I'm not the biggest Barbarian fan. I felt like there were so many different, like it didn't know what it wanted to be. There were so many different elements within the movie. And then like the end just got way too much for me where it got way too silly and it kind of pushed me away from it. So I'm not the biggest fan. Now, of course, I only saw it when it first came out and I haven't rewatched it since because of my initial feelings. So I may need to do a rewatch on it, especially with Weapons coming out. But it's one of those where if it is connected to Barbarian, I think it will only take away from it because I'm not the biggest Barbarian fan.
So there's two things about that. One, I kind of agree with you with the second half. First half with Bill Skarsgård, I forgot who played. It's Georgina, I think. Yeah, it's Georgina. I forgot her last name. Great. You bring Justin Long into the shit, that got really ridiculous.
Anytime you see Justin Long enter a horror movie, it's about to get fucking weird.
What was your theater's reaction? Because when Of course, spoilers for Barbarian if you guys haven't seen it. But when Bill Skarsgård's character gets killed, and it's like the quick cut to Justin Long just right on the interstate.
Yeah, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, "What are we doing?" And it was the weirdest. Like I said, it didn't make any sense. It's like there was two movies that were going different directions, and they're just like, let's put them together and see what happens. It just
There's
was the
only
weirdest.
2 times that my brother ever in the theater has says, "What the fuck?" Okay, probably 3. 2 times during this movie. One, it was during that cutscene. He looked at me, leaned over to me. He's like, "What the fuck just happened?" I'm like, "I don't know." I heard other people say that, and it's the very ending of
Oh
when
yeah,
she kills the person, and then she just walks off. And he looked at me, him and my and his fiance looked over to me, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Just we watched. Did we just watch? I'm like, I don't have no clue. I'm like, you wanted to see
yeah.
this movie because that, and I think the invitation. Was it the Invitation, the vampire movie at the time?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wanted to see that. He wanted to see Barbarian. I'm like, you want to see the movie? I'm like, I wanted to see the PG-13 vampire movie, but you wanted to see this. I'm like, it was your choice. But with weapons, the premise is that the whole, which is very weird, like the whole concept of this movie is a group of, not a group, a whole classroom gets taken at 2:27 in the middle of the night. How
Hmm.
the fuck does it like is it aliens? Like
Yeah.
I know there's no way that a whole fucking class is in the middle of a squid 227 not 227, 217 at night. They gotta be home. So I'm thinking probably aliens. I'm thinking more of
Yeah.
an alien movie. Because there's been have you seen the little 2 stills that New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers posted technically
No,
yesterday now? Yeah,
no, I
it's like
haven't.
it looks like CVT, like little pictures of like it looks like a kid or something walking around as like something else. I forgot what the other thing was. Oh yeah, it was the clock of 217. There was something
Oh,
like a little kid or like maybe alien or something like walking the street. So I don't know if it's somebody kidnapping kids like that or
yeah.
if it's aliens.
Well, I just looked it up and it stars Josh Brolin, so of course now I'm going to go see it regardless.
Oh, there's somebody else in it besides Josh Brolin.
Julia Gardner.
Yes.
Garner. So yeah, it's got a good cast, so I'll be seeing it.
Um. Yeah, it does have a good cast. Let's see. I'm trying to see who else. Josh Brolin is detect. Oh, it's attached to producer. I was looking to see if the director from oh, what's that movie we just saw? Oh, Zach Krieger produced it. It was Companion. I was seeing if
Oh,
I think his name's Dan Hancock.
yeah.
If he actually produced it, but it looks like he's not even attached to this. But I'm excited for it. I wish they could actually drop a trailer because this movie's like less than 120 days away right now from
Yeah.
actually in theaters. So, but for our third piece of news, which one I'm happy about, the other I'm skeptical about. We are getting a Gremlins 3 and Gremlins 3 and Gremlins 3 and Beetlejuice 3 are both in the works right now. There's a whole bunch of movies that Warner Brothers put, but these are the 2 main horror movies that everyone talked about. Gremlins 3 I'm down for. They have said they're trying to get Christopher Columbus. No, is it Christopher Columbus that directed it? Or no, it's Chris Columbus. Christopher Columbus is the dude that
I was
sounds
gonna say, that's a
pull some Jurassic Park shit right there.
right.
Um, they're trying to get Chris Columbus to back to direct it, and they have already said that they're going to do practical effects, especially with Gizmo. They're not going to do CGI Gizmo, so I'm on board on that.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice 3 is the problem. I like Beetlejuice more than Beetlejuice, but you kind of left it where it's okay to do 2. There's no
Yeah.
story to do 3. Like, I know it ends like with a whole weird thing of like Jenna Ortega and like the baby Beetlejuice, but it's like, where the fuck are you gonna go with that?
Yeah. See, I didn't see the second Beetlejuice yet, but
Sorry,
I'm.
Goops.
Oh no, you're good. You're good because, like I said, I'm not the biggest Tim Burton fan, so it's one of those like I could care less about if anything. But Gremlins 3, I am totally down for. I love the first one, and I even love the second one. I think the second one is honestly more entertaining than the first one. Hot take. But it's just more entertaining for me. It's fucking more wild, more just chaoticness that I liked. So I'm down for Gremlins 3 and then Beetlejuice 3, just kind of whatever. I heard the second one's not bad, but it's just, like I said, not really my forte. And I think it's just because Tim Burton.
Yeah, I'm not excited for that, but Gremlins 3, I definitely. Okay, I haven't seen Gremlins 2. You're the second or third person that actually has said that Gremlins 2 could be better than the first one, which
Yeah.
intrigues me now to watch the new batch. What's so
It's,
weird, I do have a Funko Pop somewhere of the one that can talk, I think.
oh,
It's that one or
that-
the one,
that-
the little like goofy one? It's one of
yeah,
those two.
because they got the real smart one that can talk. And then, but yeah, it's like I said, the second one is just more fun to me. There's chaos in the first one, obviously, but this one just ramps it up. And I I like it more, I think.
Then, Goops, I really want to know your thoughts about this for our fourth piece of news because I know you're a big Killers Clowns for Outer Space fan.
Yeah.
So 2 hours ago, 2 or 3 hours ago, it was dropped on us that Killer Clowns from Outer Space is getting a remake with Ryan Gosling producing.
If you were to tell me that they were going to make a movie or a remake of it and his name was attached to it, I would just say why? It just doesn't make much sense as far as like him being attached to the project. But I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's a comfort movie. It's probably, if I could pick a movie to watch over and over, that would be the one, just because it's just, I don't know. I just love it so much. I don't think that they could make it any worse because, like I said, it's not a good movie. It's very silly and just one of those B 80s horror movies, but I love it. So it's not like I'm worried that they're going to mess it up because you're talking about killer clowns from outer space coming to a town and turning people into cotton candy bulbs and all that stuff. I mean, it's a ridiculous concept in general, but I hope they keep it to where you have the over dramatic campiness. I hope they don't go, and this is going to sound weird. I hope they kind of stick to the goofiness. I would like a little bit more raw and scariness, but I hope there's still some camp in there. You know what I mean? Because it's not a serious movie at all.
Okay, so this is where I'm coming from because I've seen this movie once and I thought it was pretty decent when I saw it. Okay, first of all, remake's not bad. I think this was due for a remake sometime soon.
Yeah.
I just looked while you were talking. MGM is the person that done the company that done the original. I was hoping it wasn't Lionsgate because I knew a certain company that's doing remakes in Lionsgate right now. Okay, the other problem with MGM doing it, they could put it in theaters or they could throw this thing straight on Prime Video.
Yeah.
That's the other issue we got. But if you want to talk about the campiness, funniness back into it, Ryan Gosling might be your guy actually.
He is actually really funny. Like The Nice Guys is such an underrated movie, and he's hilarious in The Nice Guys.
Nice Guys, he's
So,
funny. Barbie, he's funny in Barbie.
yeah.
Um, Fall Guy, he's funny in the Fall Guy.
I didn't see that one yet.
Yes, he's funny in there too. So it might just be the thing is he's a producing to it though.
Yeah,
The problem is he gonna star it?
right.
Because the only producing credit or horror movie wise I know he has, which he was attached to, is because he was going to originally play this character was the Wolfman.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Because he still produced the movie. Because when I was I think it's when it came out, I was looking through all the credits of like who directed. Of course, Lee Winell directed. I was like all the producers stuff. Of course, Jason Blum. Then I saw Ryan Gosling. I'm like, okay. But then this news came out. I'm like, at first I'm like, but I'm like, if you want that campiness and funniness, like I said before, you really probably need Ryan Gosling in this
yeah,
because I don't know. I can't think of another funny person right now in Hollywood that can keep like that funniness. It seems
yeah,
like it seems like a lot of like our comedy guys like, but like you got your Adam Sandler's and stuff, but it seems like Adam Sandler's like really stuck with the Netflix thing right now.
yeah,
So you're like your more modern generation of like 2000s comedy, like the younger like around your guys' age is Ryan Gosling, like
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds, but Reynolds is like off doing
Right.
Deadpool and shit. Um, I think it's perfect. I think it actually is perfect.
Yeah, but we
But
need a remake for it.
one thing and one other thing, and I think you will agree with me on this. Gotta do practical. You can't do CGI shit.
100%. It
Proud
has to be.
concept to be practical. Everything that made that movie, the popcorn gun, the little monsters, the candy cane cocoon was all practical.
Yep.
And
It,
as you know, when you walk into Spirit Halloween, that's the like.
yeah.
Speaking of killer clowns, like let me pull this out. Like for example, like you need to do this practical. You can't do this CGI. Is
Yeah.
this moment right here? I was okay. Never mind. If I do that, all my Funko Pops are falling. It's the part of it's the gun when they shoot the cotton candy gun and they swirl.
Yeah.
Like I literally am looking at the Funko Pop down here, and that was all practical.
Yeah. Yeah. They need to keep it that way because there's no reason for them to take that movie and just CGI it to death.
True, very, very, very true. But that is or
I
Goobs.
got
Did you
I
got
got
it?
one more piece of news.
Yes.
Finally. So um if you guys know, or if you guys are fans of found footage, you know of Grave Encounters. Well, Stuart Ortiz uh, made another found footage film that has been on the festival circuit and is trying to get distribution. Well, finally, Strange Harvest has been acquired by Sabin Films. I don't know how to pronounce it, but Sabin Films is actually acquiring Stuart Ortiz new found footage film, Strange Harvest. Now, we have a few mutuals that have seen it and they say it's amazing. Have you seen it, Dakota?
No.
Yeah, okay. So me and you are on the same boat. I've been waiting for years, it seems like, for this to come out. So there's no release date yet, but Strange Harvest is like a mockumentary style found footage film of they're trying to find a serial killer that is terrorizing a Southern California town known as Mr. Smiley. Is that it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's Mr. Smiley.
Yeah,
I think
Mr.
it's Mr.
Smiley. And every person that I've heard review it says it's amazing. So when we get news, I'm definitely going to talk about the release of it and everything. We need to support this for sure because I've heard it's so great. And Stuart Ortiz is just an awesome dude in general. So
Speaking of this, I know if they're listening to the podcast, I think they follow our podcast TikTok. I know they follow me, and most of them talk to me. Pixel Scene Media, if you're listening, when you first start sending screeners out to me, you guys were attached to Saving Films. I know you guys are mostly with roadside attractions right now. If you can get back to Saving Films, this is the one movie that you need to send screeners out for. Because I think one, I haven't seen the Gravy Calendars, but I heard they're good. Everyone had
Oh,
that, like Goops has said, has seen Strange Harvest, has said it's absolutely great. And it will get more hype out if you can get attached to this and send the screeners out. But also, a lot of the times when Saving Films is attached to projects, they sometimes get a theatrical release.
yeah. That would be the best thing for it, I think, because, well, I want to see it in theaters. I want to see it on the big screen for sure. But even if it's a limited release, I'm going to find my way to it. But I just want it to be out because selfishly, I've been waiting for
Since
days.
September.
Yeah, it was almost, too long. So let us have it.
Because I know Chuck, Colby, and all of them saw a Fantastic Fest.
Yeah.
But let's get into our main topic this week. So our main topic is, you guys probably already know it, but it's 2000s horror.
Yes.
We're gonna run the show a little bit different today, where it's just me and Goops. We're gonna be talking more about a lot of these movies, where it's just me and him. So, Goops, I'll let you go first with your first 2000s horror movie.
Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna talk about this one first because I don't want you to take it because it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I don't know if you watched it already, but The Descent from 2005.
I was going to watch it, didn't see it though.
Okay, so this one is probably one of my favorite, if not favorite, 2000s horror movie. It's claustrophobic. It's just so it follows a group of women who, after a tragic accident for one of them, they try to get her back out and try to help her get over a tragic car accident that took her husband and daughter. Um, However, when they get down into these channels of caves, that's when they realize that they are not alone. And these fucking creatures are terrifying. The screaming throughout the cave and hearing just the echoes and the screams of the women and the creatures it's just absolutely terrifying. And it is, like I said, probably one of my, if not my favorite 2000s horror movies. So move this one to the top of your list if you haven't seen it.
Okay, here we go. Here, this is about The Descent. Like, I really want to watch this movie, but the thing takes place in North Carolina, in the Appalachian Mountains. I'm in North Carolina. I live in the Appalachian Mountains, so it's like that. It's that thing of like, because you don't know, because people have always like like some skeptics have been, oh yeah, there's things actually in the caves
Yeah.
out in these areas. So it's like, do I really need to watch this movie? Because one, you probably never won't go in caves ever again. Like, I haven't been already, but definitely don't want to probably afterwards.
Yeah.
Have you seen the uncut version of this?
I believe so. I think I have it. But like I said, The Descent is just the perfect, like, quintessential 2000s horror. And I recommend that to anybody because, like I said, it's claustrophobic. It's just anxiety inducing and just so good. Well, that's my first.
So my first, I'm gonna throw this off the board because I watched this week. It's on the list of what you guys have already heard that I watched this week, and this is Ginger Snaps. I really love this fucking movie so much.
Yeah.
I was wondering, like, why is people talking about this? Like, why is everyone so high on this movie? Because I only knew for this movie, like, this movie existed for like ever since I joined Horror Talk. I never knew about this movie. Then I'm like, I'm gonna just watch it. I found it on, I think it's on Prime Video right now. So I threw on the first 5 minutes. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, okay, it captivated me right in. Going through the whole entire thing, this movie tells you so much stuff that you need to know about lichen lore, werewolf lore, but also be about being a teenager.
Hmm.
Not only, I think it goes for both sides, for girls and guys. Like I know it shows a lot of like girls going through puberty, but I think it hits with guys as well because we go through that stage as also of high school, like being a guy growing up, and I think the puberty mixed with the werewolf lore
Yeah.
is perfect mixed together.
Oh, yeah.
You
It's
seen this one, the Goobs, right?
yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah, it's a werewolf movie, but it's a being the allegory of puberty, and I like how they focus it on the girls and the teenage girls coming up and their type of coming of age kind of thing, because it just shows that with every outburst, with every with the transformation, it all deems to the, I don't want to say evolution, but the growing up process through women, which is totally different than anything that we'll ever know or anything like that. But so I like how they did it and specifically focused on the female puberty aspect of it. And it was just like really well done in that aspect and represented very well. So I love the movie for that. And it rips in general.
It definitely like it. This is 5 out of 5 for me. This, I'm thinking like, could it be top 10? It's could be up there. It's like I've been thinking about this movie constantly ever since.
Yeah.
This this movie, okay, with this movie a lot, good transformations for werewolves.
Yeah.
Practical effects go hard, but I think they can. I know they want to do a TV show with this. If you want to remake it, I think it's got to be the right director
Yeah.
because this just feels like a early 2000s horror movie. It can't go anywhere else with that.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you this question because I've been going through a lot of videos. Is there's a lot of, because this came out before this other movie, a lot of similarities with Jennifer's body.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that because in Jennifer's Body, you have another teenager high schooler that's dealing with her own feelings, desires, and not really understanding them. And I think Jennifer herself, as far as like the Megan Fox character, is kind of like a way to, well, we know she's a monster, you know what I mean? But I think in her eyes, I can't remember her character, the nerdy girl.
Needy.
Yeah, in her eyes, Jennifer is like what she wants to be, and like what getting over your own like insecurities and going through, and that's what she desires to be. So there's like this element of envy, but also seeing what, if you are envious of something that isn't necessarily you, it could be a bad thing, which obviously it is because she's a goddamn monster. But it definitely, I could see the similarities.
Because the biggest similarities for me is the, not as much like the part, like the chemistry between the two characters of like Needy and Jennifer and Bridget and Ginger. It's more the transformation of what Ginger and Jennifer go through.
Yeah.
Like Ginger at the time, like she's like the outcast, but she's like the outcast everyone like wants to know.
Right.
While Jennifer's like the popular girl everyone like knows. And it's like
Yeah.
the transformation of them both like getting very popular, but it's like you can see that evil in them turning through the
Yeah.
whole entire movie.
Yeah.
So, Goobs, what is your second movie?
So the second one, I'm going to take one off, or that's not on my list, but because our lovely co-host is not here, I'm going to shout this one out for her. So this one's for you, Lindsay. 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, I forgot about that one. I really forgot about that one.
So you've seen that one, right? Or
Oh, I love that one. I
okay,
love that movie.
okay, good, because I know Lindsay loves that one too. She loves the Texas Chainsaw, and also shout out to her again. Make sure you check her page because she's crocheting some cool shit this week. But the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so brutal and just so dark and just it's nonstop. Leatherface is so freaking scary in this particular version of this film. He's basically just, I know this sounds funny, he's a killing machine in this one rather than in the classic 1974. He's kind of a product of his environment. It's the family around him. It's the people that are kind of making him act the way he is. But in 2003, he's just a fucking maniac altogether. And it's brutal. It's dark. I love how it's shot, how it has that like 70s feel and like that hue over the film. I fucking love the 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
So for the bring it up part, I think it kind of still goes with the 03. Because if you look at the two families, right? You got the I forgot what the original names of the family, the original family of the Sawyers and the Hewitts.
Yeah.
The Sawyers were like more tamed than I think the Hewitts are. The Hewitts are fucking just like measurable people.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if the way I think it's Thomas Sawyer. That's who Leatherface is. I think that's who they say is. Where he is raised in that brutal, like toxic environment. If that's why he's so much more aggressive.
Yeah.
In the 03.
And for being so big, that dude is fast. When he's chasing that guy through the clothesline or the sheets on the clothesline and catches him and gets him with the chainsaw off his leg, I feel like Leatherface is more terrifying in that one than the others.
You know what I just thought of? All the remakes so far, like besides of course like Jackie Early Haley for but that's like the 2010s for the remakes. 2000s remakes, they got a lot of big motherfuckers for these villains.
Right?
I think it's Andrew. I forgot his name. It's Anthony or Andrew. It's made for the Texas Chainsaw. Tyler Mane does Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And Derek Mears does Jason.
Yeah. And that's shout out to another banger 2000s remake with 2009's Friday the 13th. You know what I mean? Was the 2000s the year for horror remakes?
Okay, to be honest, I was watching those two Halloween movies. I'm thinking, oh fuck, it kind of was because you got Texas Chainsaw 3D, you got Halloween 1 and 2, you got The Omen in this, Hills of Ice 1.
Yeah.
What else? There was something
You
else.
have the Amityville Horror with Ryan Reynolds from 2005.
True.
Which is better than the original in my opinion. It just like was 2000s the year for horror remakes?
I think it was.
I think that's a yes for me.
You know who made most of these remakes? Produced them?
Hmm.
Michael Bay.
Oh Jesus, yeah, that's right.
He's like,
Oh
well, I say a property because he done Texas Chainsaw, he done Friday the 13th, and even though it's not 2000s, he done Nightmare on Elm Street.
yeah,
The only one he couldn't get attached to because I think the zombie wouldn't let him was Halloween.
yeah. I also have another 2000s remake that I'll get to later, but it just proves my point that I almost forgot that this was a remake, but I'll let you go next and then we'll wrap it around because I want to hear more of other 2000s movies.
So for my second 2000s movie, I don't hold this one as high right now after rewatching it, and this is uh, Halloween 2007. So you know I love the original. This is my favorite movie of all time, a favorite horror movie of all time. This one, I was watching it today. Halfway through, you get adult Michael Myers, which kind of bothers me. 22, I clocked off 22-minute mark of like it's like the 20 like halfway through the childhood thing. I didn't
Yeah,
have a problem with the whole backstory of Michael living in a trash house, his mother being a stripper, and all that stuff. I have a problem. Once he kills Judith, like I don't like him killing the boyfriend whatsoever. I don't like him killing the bully. Once he kills Judith, because that's what you get in the original Halloween,
yeah,
and forward of that. And this is why I think 1 and 2 really do good at the trauma of Michael because it was Danny Trejo's character told him, Michael, you got to stay in your own head. You got to think of some happy stuff or you will go crazy in there. It was like that at first until I forgot what moment it was. Then he let himself go, and that's why I think he started to dwindle of going mad and going crazy.
yeah.
And of course that leaves Deborah Myers to ending her own life. And
Right.
I think that I think even though Michael, and you see this in number two, like you don't see in his face, you can know that that bothers him. And I think
Yeah,
that's what really pulls the pin, like on the kind of like like a grenade reference, like when you pull
yeah,
the pin on a grenade and it like explodes.
yeah.
I think that's what exploded Michael into his fit of rage 15 years later.
Yeah. See, I know that's a lot of the gripe that a lot of people have with Rob Zombie's Halloween, especially the first one, is they're like, we don't need the upbringing. We don't. It's just a lot of people find it unnecessary, but I find that it's a great addition because, and with how Dr. Loomis, that's his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. How he's kind of when he talks about, what makes a monster, what creates something like this. And it gives you a backstory of what type of trauma, what type of living situations can have an impact on somebody to push them to something like this. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, well, he's just crazy because he was killing animals and, all that stuff. But I mean, look at what he was dealing with, you know what I mean, in his home life. So I kind of appreciated that portion of the film because then you get the adult and you're just like, yeah, he's just running off years and years of torment and emotional and all different types of abuse. The only thing I didn't like about the movie, he didn't have to kill Danny Trejo. That was
That
the
makes
only
it.
that was the only person that cared for him other than his mom, of course, but like as an adult, that's the only person that cared for him the whole time and he had to do it.
Zombie. So both the zombies films, there's one scene that always hits. This is the first one I will definitely talk about because I am going to talk about the second one. I am going to mention about the second one. Um, uh, later on. But the Trejo scene is the one scene, the first one that gets me second time I watch this. I'm like, fuck, because he's
Yep.
like, okay, watch the theatrical version because the uncut version pisses me off because
I
it
can't.
has the essay scene in the
Oh,
uncut version.
oh yeah. I don't.
I've
Yeah.
seen
You
both
can.
cuts. The first time when I first watched this, I watched that cut because that's the only version I had. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, I don't like this. But like after watching
Yeah.
this and like seeing him escape through the prison guards, I'm like, okay, this is so much better.
Yeah. Dude, if you want to, we can go to the second one. I know you want to talk about the second one. We can just go back to back if you
Okay,
want.
yeah. Okay. So for my third one is Halloween 2.
There
So
are
when I
no rules.
so when I first watched this one, I hated this. I hated this thing with a passion. But shout out to two content creators, one from Horror Talk and one from Movie Talk. The one from Movie Talk I got is George Carmi, Movies and Stuff 14. And then for the Horror Talk, it's the legend, Chuck, our movie guy. They talked about this movie that they liked it so much, and why they like it is the trauma aspect of this movie shows trauma. It breaks down trauma. So when I went into that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go into that with this premise. They're right. They're fucking totally right.
Mhm.
I love it. Like I love this movie now.
Yeah.
5 out of this movie's a 5 out of 5 now. It went from like a 2 to a 1 to a 5 out of 5 because I finally understand what this movie is. And do you understand the white horse, Goops?
Yeah. Yeah. When, I was kind of with you the first time I watched it, I was like, what the hell is up with the white horse? What's going on? You know, I was in the same boat. I didn't necessarily care for it. And then I rewatched it and I was like, holy shit, this is a freaking masterpiece.
So what does the white horse mean to you?
So at the beginning of the movie, when it shows the quote, I don't remember the quote exactly, but it basically kind of explains what it's it explains kind of why this white horse continues to pop up. But it's basically, from what I understand, it's the trauma and the grief and just the what am I trying to say? I lost it already. But it's like it's trauma and anger and everything like that perpetuated into this like entity.
So there's two things. So the horse means one of those things you were talking about. The trauma is the mom. That's why the mom always pops up.
Yeah.
That's why Sherry Moon Zombie always pops up. It's the trauma aspect of what Michael remembers and what,
Yeah.
especially what Angel Myers or what Lori remembers. The horse is the rage. You
Yes.
see this horse twice in the movie. You see it at the beginning and you see it at the end. The beginning, and this is why everyone is wondering when Michael kills Octavia Spencer in the
Oh
hospital. Why is it
man.
so aggressive? Because he just had that dream. Him and Lori just had that dream about the white horse. So
Dude.
he's on a fit of rage, like this is the beginning.
Yeah. Dude, that freaking he just the grunting and just the force when he's doing that, it's so visceral, dude. And the guard shack scene, so
Is that the outside in the rain?
yeah, when they're in the rain and that guard locks the door and he ends up coming up behind him and getting him, and then just the beat.
Or
It's
even Rachel, oh no, Rachel, Richard, Break is
oh
Break
man, yeah, when he's
his death.
yep. Like I said, that movie is, if you go into it with a fresher pair of eyes, I think a lot of people will understand a little bit more and appreciate it because it's a damn near masterpiece. Both Halloween and Halloween 2 from Rob Zombie are my favorites of the franchise.
To be honest with you, I don't know about Halloween, but two. There's four that I keep up there. Probably five with 5 out of 5. I gotta think about one, but I'd probably 5 out of 5 with there, even though there's nitpicks. Halloween, the original H2, Halloween 18, Kills, You see kills
No,
mentioned. Another kills mentioned.
it wouldn't be a Dakota podcast without it.
And then H2 from Rob Zombie is
Yeah.
a 5 out of 5. Which if I had to do that, fuck, because I'm thinking of H2 right now for Rob Zombie, and that overtakes 18, I think, and that overtakes the original H2. I'm thinking I love Kills so much, but the thing with the brutality is what matches it with Kills and Rob
Yeah.
Zombie's H2. But it's the trauma aspect that I think that could probably push. I know it shows trauma for like Lori and stuff like Tr- Lori and Allison, but it don't really push it that much because it shows Michael's trauma too in this.
Yeah.
Damn, it might be what the original Halloween. This is back to back. I might flip flop them at any moment. I might have to if after a couple more rewatches, this might overtake the original. This might
Yeah.
be my favorite horror movie of all time eventually.
Yeah. It's so good. And like I said, I think Rob Zombie's really good at I know it sounds weird, but I think he's really good at what he does. And he's going to give you a lot of raw and just kind of like makes you feel dirty type filmmaking. You know what I mean? It's not polished. It's not anything like that. And like how he shoots the film. And I love this version of Michael because it is definitely the most violent and the most terrifying version of Michael Myers.
Two things I want to bring up before we go to your third one. One is the sad scene, and this is Annie's death.
I'm trying to think.
Danielle Heller's.
Oh,
Her
yes,
death.
yes. I was gonna say, yeah, that's fucked.
You see
That,
Lori's reaction because she's partying. She leaves. She gets mad, leaves because she finds out that she's the actual sister of Michael Myers,
yeah,
and she could have been with Andy right there all night. To put
yeah,
this is why I think Brad Dourif's good because his performance as Sheriff Brackett in that moment of sitting in that doorway and just looking in that bathroom and seeing his daughter dead on that floor. He knows one because you can see it. I think this last 40 minutes of Brad Dourif's performance is the best
yeah,
because you see his trauma because it's his trauma now of what
yeah,
Michael has gone through. But he also is pissed at Loomis because if he never put in the book, it would never got out there. And
yeah,
if he didn't like contain because everyone said contain his monster, this stuff would never happen.
yeah,
But the last thing we'll talk about is the White Horse appearance at the end. And we see because it's the theatrical version, I'm gonna go with not the
mhm,
unrated cut because the unrated cut, both of them die. Michael and Laurie die in the unrated
yeah,
cut. Theatrical, you think Michael's dead, and of course Loomis is dead. So when the White Horse appears and Laurie is smiling, so H3, which was really supposed to be Michael, was supposed to be alive, still somehow in H3. Laurie was supposed to join him in the killing spree.
yeah.
So that rage that she sees all that rage in her, and that's what shows. Oh my god! Did you ever hear the script about this?
Mm,
Of course, this was Halloween 3D. It was supposed to I think come out in like 2012. Zombie was not attached to it. Zombie said he was done after the second one. So the writers, I think, of this of H2
yeah,
or the producers, they gave them the director's chair. They're like, "We want you to do this." And there was one scene, I think it was Michael had a head and he threw it right at the screen. So it's that 3D aspect
oh,
of just the head appearing right at you.
yeah,
And I think there was one moment like when an ambulance like would crash and would like jump through the screen. They would really try to pull like not only
wow,
terrifying, but
yeah,
really pull the 3D into this.
that's funny.
But I kind of after watching this now, I kind of wish we got that. Because there's so much like there's this and Halloween Returns, like the one that I think that Dimension Films had at the time before they lost the rights back to Universal. or back to the estate, like they
Yeah.
cost and they sold to Blumhouse. I wish they'd had a 3D version, the 3D version, even though Zombie wasn't attached, because I think because because you see it's an unfinished story at the end of two, especially Rob Zombie's theatrical version, and I wish we just saw that. I think
Yeah.
I think a lot of people wish. I bet you Chuck. I bet you we could ask Chuck, and Chuck probably wishes he could see what that third movie is.
Yeah.
But Goops, what is your third movie?
So I'm gonna go with one that was. So I'm going to talk about one that is severely underrated and not a lot of people talk about, but it's Cry Wolf from 2005. So this is a
PG-13
slasher.
slasher?
Huh?
The PG-13 slasher?
I think it's PG, but they also have an unrated one as
Okay.
well. An unrated. I think the DVD is like unrated. But so Cry Wolf is like super underappreciated. So it's like these kids are like at a like a private prep school, and I guess I can kind of go a little bit into the movie because it's from 2005. But it opens up with this chick running through the woods. Somebody catches her and he shoots her, or he or she shoots her, right? And the new kid shows up at this prep school, and they get there's this girl that he likes, and they get together and they go and play this game called Cry Wolf, and it's basically a lying game. So this whole time they're trying to figure out who's the wolf and who's the sheep by picking out, trying to figure out who's lying. And then throughout this whole film, you're dealing with a lot of pranks and whatnot, but in the middle of it, the news comes across that this person is dead in the woods. So they decide that they're going to make up, instead of playing Cry Wolf in their friend group, they're going to make it through the whole school. So they create this serial killer, or this killer that is headed to take and kill students throughout the whole thing. So they make this whole scenario up, but then it starts playing out in real life, but you don't know what's real or not because they're pranking. So it's just a really well done film, and it doesn't get talked about enough. And I probably said too much in regards if you haven't seen it, but go into this one, and it's just a unique take on the slasher genre. So I think you can only rent it right now on Prime Video, but Cry Wolf is slept on for sure.
Is it whodunit?
Yeah, it's like a whodunit.
Ooh, I love a whodunit slasher.
Yeah, because you don't know. Because like I said, the friend group is just trying to see who's telling the lie in the game. But when they create this imaginary killer and things start happening, they're trying to figure out, are you doing this? Are you doing this? Who? And so it's great. I think it's right up your alley, dude. I think you'd really like it.
Okay, I definitely gotta go check that one out. So let's see what's my fourth one. Oh, I'm gonna pick this fourth one before you do.
Okay.
I'm going with my favorite horror anthology of all time, and that's Trick or Treat.
Okay.
Um,
I dig it.
this movie's so damn good. It's been it's been probably 3 to 4 years since I've seen it. Yeah, 3 years. But I remember this movie a lot though. There's like some movies that like get lost in my head, but this one always comes up.
Oh yeah.
Especially when I hear like podcasts and stuff talking about it or videos, like I remember moments. Um, Brian Cox is in this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to believe that for such a great actor, he's in at the time. Like at that time, it was a home release. Like nobody knew about Trick or Treat,
Right.
and now it's like one of the biggest things ever. Um, Sam is the icon, of
Yeah.
course. Like, but right back there, I don't know if you guys can see him. My little plush Sam back there.
Yeah.
I got one of those. Um, I got a whole bunch of Sam stuff. I got the rules of Halloween.
Yeah.
Somewhere I got that sign. I need to put that up. That's gonna be somewhere up there in this room. It's just such a damn good movie. I
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
And I feel like that's a good movie to start out with if you're not a horror fan or you're just getting started into watching it. That's definitely one to check out because it's not too brutal. It has good it has a good story and it's so good. It's just so good.
Like if you go Spirit Halloween, you don't know who Sam is. Like you need to watch this. And plus, I know this is streaming. Like I think on Max or somewhere or Prime. I saw the movie for $8 in Dollar General. I didn't care. I bought the thing on DVD for $8 just to have it in the collection. I love that
Oh
movie so
yeah.
much. Um,
Yeah.
for example, like Sam, where is it? I got some Funko Pops. Like that's how big this thing is in my
Yeah.
house. Though I wish I could find the one. Oh yeah, for example, yeah, here he is. Yeah, Sam right here. Where he's sitting with the sack and the pumpkin.
Oh yeah. That's sick.
That's how much I love this. Like, if Cinemark made a Sam popcorn bucket for like a re-release, my ass would be getting it. That's how much I love this movie.
Yeah.
But Goobs, what is your? It's your fourth one, isn't it?
I think so. I'm gonna go with one that so it's from 2009 and it's The House of the Devil. Now,
I
this is
really
an
wanted to watch that one this week so bad. That was on the watch list.
yeah, dude. So this was like I said, 2009. It was written and directed by Ty West, the famously made the X trilogy. This one is based in the 70s where a college or sorry, 80 like early 80s where this college student struggling to pay and have struggling for with finances and she uh takes this babysitting job to uh make some money uh and it's during a specific moon. And this movie deals with a lot of like Satanist cult stuff that it gets into. But the ending of this movie goes so fucking hard that at the beginning it's pretty slow, it's pretty mellow, but that ending just cranks that shit all the way up. And I love how this was made in 2009, but it feels like it's straight early 80s style. You know what I mean? Like just how what I don't know the technical aspect of it, but the cinematography with the camera that's used, it has this like hue over the shots where it just looks old school and like retro. It's done so well. And this is probably my favorite Ty West film. Um, it's definitely better than the X trilogy in my opinion. But it's a great one and it's on like Peacock, Prime, Tubi, everywhere. So definitely would recommend this one. I think you'd enjoy this one too, Dakota.
So you know her friend in this.
Huh?
You know the main girl in this. You know her friend in the movie.
Let me see the main girl. Oh, Jocelyn. Do
Yes.
Donahue.
Does she have a friend that appears in this?
Yeah, yeah. There's a friend.
You know who the friend is?
Uh-uh.
Greta Gerwig.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the director of
the
Barbie.
director. Yeah,
It's so weird
that's fucking.
because
I didn't know that. That's freaking wild, dude.
when I was looking through like her filmography when Barbie came out, I'm like House of the Devil. I- I'm like
Yeah.
okay. I'm like All I know is I know what happens to the friend. Like there's some happens. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch. I'm like, not
yeah,
can't wait to watch, but I'm like, I'm prepared to watch this now.
yeah. It's so good.
But let's go on with my fifth one. This one is Chuck's comfort movie. Yeah, Coops knows where I'm going. Half a horror talk knows where I'm going. And this is Eden Lake. So, you know the main kid in this group?
I don't know
No, you know who I'm talking about, though, right? The guy who was the main kid in the group.
yeah.
The actor is playing the villain, or like the lead, the vampire, in Sinners.
Oh, okay.
I didn't
I
know
didn't know.
that till I looked at the Sinners filmography the other day. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, dude. I'm like, dude, don't look the same as he did when he played it. In like
right.
this movie is the definition of fuck them kids.
Yeah,
Oh, this thing's brutal,
yeah.
brutal, bleak,
One of the
depressing.
most depressing endings ever.
Yes. Um, I didn't
I
even know
get,
Michael Fassbender was in this till like a month before I watched it.
yeah. I get like watching that movie, I get like anxious where I just kind of have to like let out a giggle. You know what I mean? Like you just get so, because it's fucked. Like that movie's fucked. But it's very well done. But just be ready because it's rough.
Okay, spoiler warning for Aiden Lake right now. The two scenes that really got me is the box cutter to the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the tire scene.
Oh,
The kid in the tire.
yeah.
Yo, that fucked me up. I'm like, I was not thinking that was gonna happen.
No, no.
Okay, this might be a little bit weird, but you know when she's looking in the mirror, she turns around, she just stabs the kid back in the neck. Do you not
Yeah.
be like, there you go, there you go. That's how we do it. I'm thinking, why the fuck am I cheering for this? But damn, these kids are fucking evil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And when she runs the girl over at the end, I'm thinking, I'm thinking, you go, just run the fucking kids over.
Hell yeah. Like I said, that it's one of those movies that it's an
Like,
experience. It's just because it starts out and they're just having this time on the beach and camping and just romantic, and then it just takes a fucking left turn and it gets brutal and bleak and just tragic.
like I know it's not right to like cheer on for kids' deaths, but these kids are fucking like
I mean,
they're the spawn of Satan. That's what I'm
yeah.
gonna say.
I mean, people don't like that I say old people are scary, but we all know the truth.
These kids are from hell. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Children of the Corn don't have nothing on these kids.
Yeah.
Um, Goops, what is your fifth movie?
I mean, there's so many in the 2000s. I mean, one that another one that kind of goes into our theory of the 2000s being like peak horror remakes from 2001, 13 Ghosts, Shannon Elizabeth, Mike, fucking
Matthew
like,
Lillard?
yeah, Matthew Lillard. God damn, I almost called him
Wait,
Mike.
that's a remake?
Yeah, that's a remake.
Holy fucking shit.
The original came out in like the 60s or something like that.
I didn't even. Oh wait, was it Vincent Price?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a fucking dumbass. I think I did know that.
But yeah, so that goes along with our. So that one is.
I need to watch that one. That's
Dude.
Tony Shalhoub, don't it?
Yeah, Tony Shalhoub. Shout out to all of my age group, but It has Mrs. Honey from Matilda. You're definitely too young for that reference, Dakota. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I
But
was- all I
I'm
know
sure
is all I know is Stu and Monk. That's all I know.
but I'm sure Lindsay, if you're watching, I'm sure you know Mrs. Honey. But she's in that movie as well. But 13 Ghosts is great, and they're actually coming out with a series, which I can't wait for. And they're doing one episode per ghost, which is going to be fucking great. But it's just such a cool movie, and I love it. I love it.
Okay, just a little thing. You see Monk, right?
I've seen a few episodes. I haven't like watched the full show.
I can't look at Tony Shalhoub anymore without thinking he's a full-time germaphobe. Well, I see him like when he's in Scooby Doo. I think it's
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
Scooby Doo one. I'm thinking the dude's literally not the same dude at all.
Yeah. But that one definitely, like I said, I think after going through a lot of these movies, I think 2000s might be my favorite decade.
I'm thinking actually it's too. I was thinking that the other day.
Because I mean, if you want, after we could just spitball movies back and forth, like don't have to go into them. But there's so many that 2000s has that just fucking rip.
If you want to, because we already done 5, let's do 5 more. Then let's just spitball some out real quick.
Yeah.
So for one, I really want to break down. Thank you, Colby and Ian, for this recommendation. This is Hatchet.
Oh, that was on my list.
This is so fucking good. Brutal. Funny. Victor Crowley is a fucking beast. He's a fucking menace. That's what he is.
Yeah, one of the most underrated horror icons, horror slashers ever. He doesn't get his respect.
He's Shrek on steroids.
Yeah. And I mean, he's played by Kane Hodder, the legend. So
True.
But I love Hatchet. I love Hatchet so much. Every single one of them.
Oh, you know he's even in Hatchet 1 and 2? Rest in peace, Tony Todd.
Yep. Yeah.
So
that's funny. That was on my list too.
I fucking love Hatchet. I kind of remember when you watch Hatchet. That's how much I love this movie. Is this Adam Green's first movie?
I'm not sure if it's his first. I think it might be.
A great start to your filmography.
Yeah, for sure.
He was Jordan Peele before Jordan Peele.
Yeah, I think that this kind of this franchise, and with Victor Crowley and just everything, it kind of took it straight back to the classic slasher, over the top camp, blood, gore, but it's done so fucking good. And also Robert Englund makes a cameo in the first one, just for a little bit.
Speaking of that, the first 5 minutes, I was sitting there, I'm like, holy fucking shit, what did I just get myself into? The Sam Bell, oh my god.
Yeah.
But Lindsay's reaction. She's gonna be listening to this, the reaction she has to the Sam Bell. I watched that thing. I'm like, Sam Bell was him. She's like, yep. She's like, yes. I'm like, I knew it fucking was.
Oh man.
Never can look at Sam Bell the same way anymore. Which is only weird because out of the 4, this is the only one from the 2000s.
Yeah.
The other 3 are in the 2000 teens.
Yeah, the 10s, I think.
So, Goobs, what is your number 6?
So I will go with one of the most like one of the most tragic endings to a movie out there, and it's a gut punch, but it's 2007's The Mist.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but I know the ending.
So first off, it's a great movie in general. Like the creature designs are really cool. I love the aspect of them being like the trapped in the grocery store. This is based off of
Stephen King.
yes, that's Stephen King novel. But everybody knows this movie for one reason and one reason only, and that is the ending. It is, I'm not going to spoil it, but if you haven't seen this movie, go into it and you will leave feeling so depressed just because of how it ends. It's so gut wrenching and just bleak, and it's such a good one. So that's one of the it's definitely a Stephen King adaptation that is worth your time.
So, like I said before, I haven't seen the movie, but the ending I know of. I've seen the scene actually to the ending. Goops is right. That's one of the most depressing things I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, if that happened to me, I would feel the same way Thomas Jane feels.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those that, and it doesn't necessarily telegraph anything either. It doesn't like, you don't think like, oh, this is going to happen. And then when it starts to build up, you're just like, oh shoot, is this actually wow, And then so yeah, definitely quintessential 2000 horror right there.
So for my number 7, I wonder if this is on your list, Scoops, because you like this one too. This is Splinter.
I love that movie. I didn't put it on there because I know you finally watched it and you love it.
This movie, oh, this thing's gnarly. This thing is brutal. This thing is like this is the body horror movie that I know. There's this. Is there any other body horror movies in this era of 2000s?
I'm sure there's a few in there that would classify as it, but this one definitely takes it to the extreme.
I think this is an underrated one that a lot of people haven't watched, and a lot of
Yeah.
people do need to watch. Um, this stars oh, who is it? Stars in this? It's oh, Shay Winham. He's in this.
Mm.
Um, that's probably your only like well-known actor in this, but he's so damn good. This whole cast so damn good. Practical effects, gnarliness, the creature design perfect.
Yeah.
Would definitely consider this a one location type of movie.
Yeah, I would.
Um, Great experience. Really quick too. I think it's like what is it like 80 something minutes long?
Yeah, I think it's a little
80,
less than an hour.
it's 82 minutes long. It goes by quick.
Yeah.
Love this fucking movie.
Yeah. So good.
So Goops, what is your number 7?
So this one, 2003, Wrong Turn. One
Oh
of my favorite.
my mom loves these movies.
Dude, The Wrong Turn. So the first one is definitely great. The sequels kind of definitely go downhill. But the first one will always be one of my favorites. Elijah Dushku, one of the first celebrity crushes I've had. So of course I'm into it. But this one has some gnarly kills, and it will definitely make you not take the shortcut in the woods ever again. Because like I said, it definitely, you deal with a lot of, I mean, let's be honest, they're just backwood incest crazy people. But they're so, but like I said, it's such a good one, and it's just a perfect, it's not a perfect movie. I'm not saying that, but it's just such a, if you want to put something on that's a good time, that does have some genuinely creepy moments as well as some suspense and some nice, pretty brutal kills, definitely check this one out because 2003's Wrong Turn is so good to me.
Oh, I haven't seen the movie, but on TikTok the other day it posted I think rock soundtracks at the end of like the horror movie credits. You know one Breaking Benjamin's songs is at the end of this credit.
Huh.
Okay, so I've seen the scene. So I saw the scene of when the cop is like, it's the cop at the end, and one of the guys kills the cops. It's the
Yeah.
laugh and the song hits.
Oh,
I think the hardest fucking like drop of all time. Because like I know the laugh of those people. The creepiest shit ever.
yeah.
If I heard that shit in the middle of the night, like outside, oh fuck nah. Not going outside. They can have my woods. They can have my woods they wanted. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not going out there. I'm not gonna be people dindin.
No, not at all.
So for my number 8, I'm looking at my list right now over here on my letterbox. I got a lot of picks. I want Winter remake. I got the shirt of this. I was wearing the shirt yesterday. Um, this is 2009's Friday the 13th.
Hell yeah.
This is the only one actually I've seen, besides like Freddy versus Jason. But this one, I've heard that I know the twist at the very end of the first one, so it's gonna be hard to really watch that first one. But the spoiler warning, first of all, if you haven't seen Friday the 13th, um, the Pamela Voorhees stuff, I kind of glad they go by it really quick in this one. Then we get Jason.
Yeah, they don't touch a lot on her at all.
But going back to a certain dude, and that is Derek Mears. I need to watch King Hodder's Jason's, but I like Derek Mears as Jason.
Oh,
He's he's big. He's terrifying. He's fucking bulky. This motherfucker runs, and I'm not like your little jog sprint. No, he's full ass sprinting at your ass. It's scary as shit.
Oh yeah. When the kid's running up from the fucking from the shed, and he fucking takes the axe.
And there's one of the biggest plot twists in this whole entire thing at the very end. the final girl who you think is the final girl is not the fucking final girl at all.
Right.
And for all you Supernatural fans out there, Jared Padalecki's in this also.
Yep.
Yeah, that good. I need to rewatch this.
It is the best movie of the franchise. Now, it's not my favorite of the Friday the 13th. That's Jason Takes Manhattan, but that's a topic for another time because everybody hates that one. But as far as like movie quality, yeah, the 2009 is the best one of that franchise.
Did you ever hear about the sequel for this one?
Uh-uh.
They wanted to do it in the snow. They had a whole script out. Like, it was. I'm just thinking about one of the kills right now that I know of.
Yeah.
It's the ski zip line. Like, you know how they get on there? Oh my goodness. Jason's way at the other end. It's that, or it's like, I think it's in the snow, or it might be somewhere else. It might be somewhere else. They might have two scripts, like one like a resort and like a resort like type of thing, and like another like a ski thing. But I think it was like a ski zip line they had. Like going, yeah, when you go down, you drop off and you go for like the snowboarding or the skiing.
Yeah,
Jason was at the end, ready to, and they cut someone's head off and it just flies, and there's just
that's
blood all in the snow.
that's cool. I think that'd be interesting.
Because everyone wants Jason in the snow. They wanted to see that. Like they want a lot of horror icons in the snow, and the only franchise we got in the snow technically is Wrong Turn with number 4.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's
But damn, I kind of wish I got a sequel because Derek Mears as Jason Voorhees is something else.
yeah,
That
great.
that's the problem with these remakes. Like you had Halloween 1 and 2, we had Tyler Mane. Like you could have more movies with him. You had one movie with Derek Mears. Texas Chainsaw, you had 2 movies.
Yeah,
Like you had a prequel, but you could have a sequel though because Leatherface is technically still alive.
yeah.
One armed Leatherface, but he's still alive. That would be interesting to see just Leatherface go. But Goobs, I think it's your number 8. What is your 8th movie?
So we do I want to talk about that one now, or is that my part of my rapid fire? Fuck it. I'm gonna 2009. This is an underrated slasher film, and it is Laid to Rest.
Ooh, I need to watch those.
So this one, a young girl wakes up in a freaking casket with a gnarly head injury. She doesn't know how she got there, doesn't know anything. Then she realizes that she was abducted. Excuse me. She was abducted by a serial killer known as Chrome Skull. And it's exactly what you think. His mask is just a fucking big ass piece of chrome, and it's intimidating. This one right here, and this may be a hot take, I don't know, but I kind of feel like it. This has the amount of brutality and just Chrome Skull himself has the same amount of brutality and just visceral that Art the Clown does. It's like Chrome Skull walked so Art could run. Like, and if you watch these movies, you know how brutal they are and how gory, and what I think is also just, it's so straight to the point with this one. It's like she wakes up, realizes this person's trying to kill me. She's running, he's chasing, and that dude's just killing. So it's one of those, it's an hour and a half, and it just gets straight to it. It's gory, it's gnarly, and if you like the Terrifier franchise and that type of like slasher type, this one, check it out because it was done before the Terrifier franchise and definitely needs more respect.
So we're talking about brutality. There was another movie we just talked about that came out in 2009. Which one's more brutal? This or Rob Zombie's Halloween 2?
I would say that one's tough. It's two different types of brutality. Laid to Rest definitely is a more over the top gore, like rushing blood and decapitation, cutting somebody's face in half, that type of stuff. Rob Zombies is brutal, just the absolute fierceness that Mikey has in that one. I would say the kills are more brutal in Halloween 2 because they're not as over the top, if that makes sense. Like Laid to Rest is over the top, like and it has a little bit of camp to it. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is just
Bleak.
yeah, just so it's more brutal in that aspect. But like I said, that over the top, the feel of Terrifier 1 is the feel you'll get with Laid to Rest. Like it
Okay.
has that same type of feel and just like rawness to it. So that's kind of the best way to describe it.
Okay. So my number 9. There's one I'm looking on here. Let me see if I see anything else though. Hmm. Yeah, I'm going with this one, which I think is the 25th anniversary. It was yesterday, and this is American Psycho.
That's on the list.
This movie's camp. If you want to talk about camp and no, not camp, I would say satire, big satire,
Yeah.
horror satire. That's really what when you look up this movie, that's labeled as is a horror satire. Um, Christian Bale was good. It's really good in this. So, a little backstory on this. Um, who was producing this at the time? Let me see who produced this. Was it Lionsgate or was it the Weinsteins?
I'm not sure.
It's Lionsgate. But I wonder if the Weinsteins was in on it. Um, no, it was somebody though. Um, th- so they didn't like Mary Herron as the director because she wanted Christian Bale. So they fired her.
Oh, wow.
So they wanted Oliver Stone to come in with I think Leo to
Oh,
play
wow.
Patrick Bateman. And Oliver's like, I don't want to do this because Oliver at the time he was doing like Platoon and all those other type of movies. And this is not up his alley. So they're like, okay, let's just bring her back. Um and she's like, the only way I do this is if I can get Christian on to play Patrick. And they're like, okay, if you want to do that, do that. Um No, it was actually, I think, no, it was the writer of the book. Yeah, I remember. It was the writer of the book that didn't want her because he thought Christian Bale wasn't the right Patrick Bateman. He thought Leo was.
Yeah.
And Christian got so mad, he went into his office. He's like, okay, let me talk to Christian. Or Christian's like, I want to have a meeting with the writer. He's like, okay, comes in as Patrick Bateman into this meeting. Dude, 5 minutes and had to tell Christian Bale to get out because he was so terrified of Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, like his mannerisms and everything. He
Yeah.
was so because it's so mostly to the book of how terrified he was.
Yeah.
Oh, this movie it can get pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Um, the things of when Patrick's in his head and he's like at the bar, he's like, "Oh, you stupid bitch! You need to shut up." I'm thinking,
Yeah.
he just said this out loud. He's just looking at her. I'm like, phew, I'm thinking, damn, that would be bad if he just said that in public.
Yeah.
Or if he like that woman, he's like, oh yeah, yeah. He's like, oh, I remember the line. He's like, shut up, you stupid bitch! I won't play in your blood. I'm thinking, bro. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to say this shit in public. That most iconic scene in this movie is Paul.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's so good.
Which I think some people, especially where Jared Leto was Jared Leto now, I think some people like that scene now.
Oh, yeah. It definitely is a little bit more sweeter watching it now.
But this movie's just good overall.
Yeah.
I just want to know what Luke is going to do with it because at CinemaCon, it was officially announced that he was doing it.
Yeah. And I mean,
I think Austin Butler's still not attached to it, so I think the Austin Butler stuff was just.
oh, I mean, even if he is attached to it, I mean, he's a great actor. Is he on the level of that? I don't know, but I mean, can he play that psychopath? I don't know, but
Wait, have you seen Doom Part 2?
no, I started it, but I didn't finish it. I know he plays
I was supposed to say,
villain in that one.
watch his performance as Spade, and hey, a little bit, just a little bit. He can probably do that. So, what number are we? Okay, it's your number now because I just done mine.
Yeah. So this is kind of cheating, I guess, but it, like I said, Mom's not here. We have no rules.
Wait, is this in the 2000s realm though?
It's still 2000s.
Okay,
But
I thought you were breaking that rule. Like, no,
no,
do not break that rule.
no, I'm combining these two because these two movies kind of started this type of subgenre within the horror movie, and that's Scary Movie 1 and 2. They came out in 2000 and 2001.
The spoofs.
So the spoof movies. But these ones were done in such a way that it became a fucking phenomena where everybody tried to get spoofs off because of it. But Marlon Wayne, the Wayans brothers in these two were just fucking fantastic. I loved how they just incorporated all of our favorite 80s and 90s horror movies to make, they were just so good. And I'm so happy that they got the rights back and they're making a new one coming up, because I can't wait to see all the just them ripping apart the movies that nowadays. But those two are just fantastic. And they started, like I said, the spoof genre. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, you guys can be the judge, because there's not a lot of good ones, but those two are some of my favorite and most rewatched movies of all time.
I need to watch those still.
Oh, they're so fun, dude. I think they're both on Tubi.
Okay, definitely give them a watch. But
So that was my cheating.
Oh, so for my number 10, I am going to pick a movie that I've been looking on my list all this time. And I watched this one when I was like younger, like really young. And this is The Hitcher.
Oh, snap.
And this movie fucked. That's
Oh, yeah.
It's a remake. Didn't know that until like 7-8 years ago. I thought this was the original story. Sean Bean, fucking great.
Yeah.
Who else is in this movie?
I forgot the
Sophia Bush.
Yeah.
Really good in it. She's also in a movie I really want to see. That's 2000s, which I don't know if you have seen it. That's Stay Alive.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've seen Stay Alive.
This movie is such brutal. It's sad too. The family in the cargo.
Oh, yeah.
In the car.
Yep.
The little bunny. I'm like, oh shit. I don't know why it was 2000s once they gave us trauma for like killing everybody, especially little kids.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to know what's satisfying? The ending shot in this movie.
Oh, with on the road with the shotgun.
Yeah, when she just like blows his head off and walks away.
Yeah.
Because this is the one villain, like, besides like sometimes we cheer on Michael, we cheer on Freddy, but this is the one villain where you're like, well, fucking kill that guy.
Right. Yeah, that was a good one. I honestly forgot about The Hitcher, but I've seen that a bunch of times. It's great.
I think I've seen it 2 or 3 times. Especially sci-fi. If you go on the Sci-Fi Channel, they love to show it on the Sci-Fi Channel. Oh, the part when he gets torn apart.
Oh yeah.
It took me a little while before I had to actually watch that scene. Oh, fuck, this movie's good.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, Sean Bean loves to play villains for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. mean, he's good at it.
True. But Goobs, to finish off your list before we do a rapid fire, what is your number 10?
So since you had that one, I'm gonna switch it to this one because this one is one of my favorite 2000s, and if I'm gonna say one word, and a lot of people my age are gonna know what this movie is, and that word is candy cane. And that
Joyride.
is 2001's Joyride with Paul Walker,
Oh my God.
freaking Lily Sobieski, Steven Zahn. Dude, this one was so. Watching this, it made me terrified of truckers and CB radios. Because if you don't know, 3 people are on a road trip. One of them they install a CB radio and they play a prank on this truck driver. And that truck driver did not take it very kindly. Turns out to be a fucking psychopath. And it just becomes this cat and mouse survival story where they're being chased by this sadistic trucker. And it's so good. It's one of my favorites.
I was wondering if that because it didn't pop up as horror, but of course it's like in Letterboxd that don't pop up as horror, but it reminds you a lot of horror.
Yeah.
You know who plays Rustin Nell?
Uh-uh.
The dad from The Hills of Eyes.
Oh, really?
And Staldemeyer for Monk. Yes, that's who plays. So what's so weird about this? It's him and Paul Walker played in another movie together.
Which one?
The first Fast and the Furious.
Oh,
Because he's the detective that brings Paul Walker in with Vin
yeah.
Diesel and them. It's so
Forgot
weird
about
to look at Steven Zahn though, because all I think is the death of Diary of the Wimpy Kid.
Dude, I always think of Saving Silverman when I see that guy. That's a
Wait, what?
early 2000s comedy with Jack Black and the guy from American Pie.
I have never heard of this movie.
Oh, dude, Saving Silverman's hilarious. Put that on a watch list.
I'm about to right now. I'm looking through his filmography. Where is this movie? Oh, I see it right here.
Yeah. Jack Black.
Damn, I didn't even know about this movie at all. Wait, is that Courtney Cox? Oh, that's not Courtney
No,
Cox.
it's the
Neil Diamond's in that. What the fuck?
yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, let's spit off some 2000s horror movies for our rest. So let me pull my list back up real quick. I know Goose probably has a lot more than I do because I do have all my 2000s horror movies popped up right now. But I'm gonna go through a couple that I think is pretty good, and that is Saw 6, Jennifer's Body. One that Lindsay mentioned last week, 30 Days of Night.
Yeah.
Dead Silent is underappreciated.
Yes. Good pull. Love Dead Silence.
Inside. I'm gonna leave one off because I think you go mention it, and it's one of Lindsay's favorites. Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's. Oh, shout out to Ian. House of the Thousand Corpses. One that I mentioned last week, Blade 2.
Yeah.
Underappreciated Leprechaun movie that me and you like. Leprechaun in the Hood. Then let's go with the OG to this franchise. Hopefully we could do an episode later on covering the whole franchise, and this is Final Destination. And one last one, I just saw it. Oh, I had to mention the sixth one. Of course, I got mentioned the first Saw.
Oh yeah.
So, Goops, what is something that you want to spit off?
So a couple that are big. The Ring from 2002, a good American remake to a Japanese classic. That movie scared the shit out of me. You have also, you mentioned Inside. I will mention Martyrs from 2008. French Extremity, fucking gnarly movie. The Grudge, another solid one. I'm going to go a little bit. I'm going to mention the movie, but fuck the director. Jeepers Creepers.
I was going to mention that, but I didn't want to. I didn't know what we're going to think about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
good
hard.
question. Because, first of all, that dude's a piece of shit, but he
Yeah, fuck
directs the
Victor
first three.
Salva.
I didn't even want to mention his fucking name. That's how much I didn't like him. Which was better, one or two?
I like one better.
Well, I like two better. I don't know. Two has a something. I don't know. I think just from the way he is to the way he treats, like because of course he wrote that whole entire thing, a
Yeah.
script, especially where you could see with Justin Long's character, you could see how big of a piece of shit he is. So that's why I take away from that one a little bit.
Yeah.
But number two, it's just a whole group of kids that are fucking terrified on a bus. And it's
Yeah.
isolated.
I do like that aspect of it.
Technically, that's a one location movie.
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers 2 is.
Yeah. Couple other one, or I got tons, but the Original Strangers from 2008, one of the most terrifying movie experiences that I've had in the theater because of just how loud it was, how just everything. Also, this is more sci-fi kind of thing, but Hollow Man from 2000 with Kevin Bacon, fire ass movie, kind of a take on the Invisible Man. So I really like it. Another an unappreciated movie from the 2000s, See No Evil with Kane. It came
I
out
need
in
to watch that.
2006. It's actually not bad. It's definitely slept on, in my opinion. And because she's not here, but I will mention it was one of her favorites. Slither from 2006. Is that the one you were going to mention?
Yes.
You also have two of the best zombie movies ever made in the 2000s. You have 28 Days Later, and then the highly disrespected 28 Weeks Later. Both are fantastic. And I'll leave it off with The Hills Have Eyes from 2006, and then fucking Midnight Meat Train. Bradley Cooper in a horror movie. It's so good.
One more I won't mention. I'm in the middle about it, but I know a lot of people like it. House of Wax.
House of Wax is fire.
But I think that's about it for 2000s horror, isn't it, Goops?
Oh man, yes, we could.
We could be here all day talking about this.
We could be all day with 2000s, but
guys, if you guys are listening to the audio version of the podcast, leave us a comment down below because I know the comments are available. What is your favorite 2000s horror movie? And if you guys are watching the video, that's the question for the week. I'm gonna have a question each week. What is your favorite 2000s horror movie? That's the question for the week. So definitely put that down below in the comments, guys. But if you guys are listening to the audio version, give us a 5-star rating. If you want to stay with us, hit that follow button. If you're on Apple or Spotify, if you guys are watching the video version on YouTube, hit that like button. Of course, leave your favorite horror movie down below in the comments. If you want to stay with us, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification. It would tell me, Goobs, and no, Oh yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was thinking about another social media. It would tell you guys, not us. It would tell you guys when we post videos, when we post episodes, when we post clips of the podcast, or even if because I mostly run the YouTube when I want to leave a news update to you guys or anything about like a merch drop or something if we ever do that down in the comment area and on the tube. But also follow us on social media. We're on TikTok and Instagram. Definitely gonna be posting more over there because I feel like I'm back on the social media
Yeah.
grind. Goose has noticed it. Um, to be honest with you guys, these past 2 months, I've been trying to figure out kind of like myself, like what I want to do of this. Um, and I would not say the 2022 me came back from wanting to put out content. I feel like the 2017 me, the nose to the grindstone, that Dakota of me being in high school. One thing that reminds me of it is 2017, my last semester of high school, weightlifting. I put so much effort to that, and I have never felt like that until now. And Goobs has even said to me that the content has got more and better, and that's definitely gonna get over here for you guys. You guys will be getting a lot of lists this week, probably of me and Goobs with our 2000s horror. We will plan that out. Probably even Lindsay, so we can throw her in there this week for our content. A lot of clips like news, all that stuff. Us breaking down certain movies like we have in this episode, but definitely stay with us on social media on here if you guys want to listen to the podcast and of course see our beautiful faces. But guys, I'm gonna let you guys know the episode next week because it's gonna be a special episode. Instead of a main topic of us just talking about horror movies, we're gonna be doing a movie review. One of my most anticipated horror movies now of the year is coming out this Friday, and this is Ryan Coogler, Sinners. Definitely go see this movie, guys. I'm just going to say it. If you, a lot of you guys want original horror movies, you guys don't want all these franchises, go see this one. And if you are a film enthusiast, like I know Goobs likes more than horror movies, and I'm like really into film. I love the not only film but the aspect of film, like the making process. And this movie is made with IMAX cameras. So a little bit about that is if you guys go see a movie in IMAX, you got your digital. And this is what Ryan Coogler put this in the video, said this in the video also. But he actually shot this with IMAX cameras with actual IMAX film. So, for example, like two non-horror films, Oppenheimer, Doom Part 2. Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan actually shot with IMAX film. So Ryan Coogler wanted to do that with this movie because this movie is a vampire movie or supernatural vampire movie set during the Jim Crow era. Which the premise right there, you got me locked in. It's Ryan Coogler's, Michael B. Jordan's, Haley Steinfeld. But knowing that's on 70 millimeter IMAX is absolutely amazing. Like I don't have a 70 millimeter, but I know Goobs does. But there's 10 in the whole world that's showing this. And if you guys want to go look it up, it's on I think on the IMAX website of where you guys can watch this. If you guys got IMAX 70 millimeter theater near you, definitely go watch this. And if you don't, just go watch this in IMAX. Definitely go watch this because you guys will definitely want to be here next Tuesday for this review because I think it's going to be one of the best, biggest reviews that we're going to talk about all year long because this is just about one of my most anticipated movies. I think this is going to be a movie that shocks everybody. But guys, stay tuned for that episode next week. Be locked in. But Goops, you wanted to say anything before we head off?
No, just follow us on all of our social medias. We post pretty much daily. And check us out. Subscribe to the pod, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. And we love you. We appreciate you. And we will, of course, see you next Tuesday. Shout out to Lindsay. We love you too.
Yes. When you guys see us next time, me, Goops, and especially Lindsay will be on next week's episode for Sinners. But guys, with that being said, when you guys hear from us next time, it will be a Tuesday. So we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.